Welcome to the Effects Loop. I'm Diaz,
And I'm Chris.
and we're keeping you in the loop with the guitar community. This episode is brought to you by Big Ear Pedals. Go to bigearpedals.com. Check out their awesome line of effects that they have. You've gotten your pedal in, haven't you?
Yeah, I got the woodcutter in like a week or so ago. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't gotten a chance to sit down and play it yet, though, sadly.
I felt bad. I got my Albie and I loaned it out right away.
Oof.
Well, my buddy Andrew, he's pretty awesome. So he came over and so you know the Soundstone sustainers?
Is that like one of the
cheap
pickups, or is
knockoff?
that...
No, it's the knockoff Evo thing.
Oh, okay.
It's on Facebook ads all the time. Yeah. So I ordered that, and for like $5 more, you can get a glass slide. I was like, all right, sure. So they sent me 2 of the sustainers instead. So I was like, hey man, you want this? And he's like, yeah. And then I kept forgetting to get it to him, and then I lost it, and then I found it, and I was like, hey, here's that thing.
Good job.
So that was like the day the Albie came in, or whatever, the day after. I was like, you want to borrow this? Check it out. He's like, yeah. So, well, I mean,
Spreading the word.
Yeah, that's it. If you want to try a bigger pedal, just come hang out at Jesus' apartment for a little bit. Sounds like a weird dating app. But anywho, it's also, yeah, try my pedals at myapartment.com. This episode's also brought to you by our patrons and our patron supporters. We, shiitake mushrooms. Hold on. Let me find the name, because we have a new supporter.
Ooh.
And it snuck up on us because it was in our spam, which was kind of weird. So Andrew, I can't pronounce your last name. Moriello, maybe.
Like Tom Morello?
No, well, it's Mauriello. His address is... No, I'm just kidding. He joined our top tier, which is our $10 tier.
I guess I need to send him stickers.
Yeah, stickers and stuff. All that fun jazz. So this episode is brought to you by Andrew. Thanks, bud.
Yeah, thanks, Andrew.
Hey, Andrew, if you're listening, I sent you a message through Patreon, and if you want to be in our chat group, hit us up. It's really cool and fun, and all the cool kids are doing it. So we talked about you just got the woodcutter, so I guess we could transition that into our what's new, Chris, since that's one of your what's news.
So what else did I get? I don't remember if I talked about it last time, because I don't remember when I was on last, but I got the Simplify. Oh wait, I did talk about this. I got the Simplifier.
Yeah. No, it's been a minute since we've both been on. So Scott's been carrying the show as oh my gosh, I'm really freaking tired. So I took a nap right before we recorded, and I should not have done that at all. It's no bueno.
Lesson learned.
Yeah. So sorry, as Tom would say, Scott's carrying the episode on his back for a few weeks, and we appreciate it, Scott. Yes. If you want, with that extra $10 that we get from Andrew now, we can put towards your chiropractor. So Chris, what else did you get?
I got some fake off-brand Invader pickups. Like, I don't even know what brand they are.
I feel like Fake Invader would be a great game for like a knockoff Space Invaders.
It would be.
Fake Invaders.
And it's all like not even 8-bit. It's like 1-bit, and you just literally have a dot shooting dots. Yeah, and then I got a Tele bridge because I'm putting those in a Telecaster that is currently routed for a single pickup in the bridge. So I've got to do some routing, which I'm a little nervous about.
Just do like I do. Just do like I do and get a steak knife and start chopping away and see what happens.
You'll end up like Berniger.
Yeah. Oh, how unfortunate.
Yeah. We already talked about the woodcutter. And a friend of the show, Will Lehu, we did a trade. I traded him my JHS Foot Fuzz for a 90s Boss CH1 Super Chorus.
Oh, that's
Also,
cool.
yeah, also I have not gotten to plug that in yet, but it's going to be fun to get the board wired back up to semi stereo because I got some plans to do some kind of like fake wet dry thing. I just got to figure out how it's going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I did throw my board together. I did a rodeo gig this past
yeah.
week.
Tell us about that.
I had a rodeo. And that's exactly where you expect to see Diaz is just hanging out at the rodeo. Yeah. So there's this lady that works for me, and she was like, "I'm gonna play at the rodeo. Would you play with me?" And I
Is
was
that how
like,
that went?
"Oh yeah, kind of." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, like no, like you got a band and like stuff. And she's like, "No, no, it's just gonna be me, my daughter, and you." And
Oh,
I was like, we can't have that. So I called my oldest son who plays bass, and I called my good friend Greg, who was probably one of the longest playing like drummer relationships I've had besides with my brother. And I was like, hey, do you guys want to play at a rodeo? And my not my youngest son, sorry, my son was like, yeah, sure, I'll play. And I was like, cool. And the drummer was like, at a rodeo, huh? I was like, yeah. He's like, is it gonna be like, we're gonna have time to practice? I was like, oh no, we're not practicing. Like, no,
uh,
not at all. No, not even for like, not even for like, we're just gonna show up and play. Everyone's just gonna learn their stuff. I'll give you guys any notes. And he's like, oh, so it's gonna go pretty good. I was like, no, not even, not
no.
even close. Like, I was like train wreck, and it was, and
Oh
I
yeah.
felt, yeah, well, I mean, kind of, I mean, pretty much like the train made it to its location
Oh lord.
like it was supposed to.
But it was like missing a wheel and some stuff.
Oh, yeah, maybe some of the passengers got mugged. Like it wasn't exactly what we'd call textbook. So, God, she's never gonna listen to this podcast, so I'm just gonna kind of like. So I was like, hey, and she's like very, very, very. I mean, she's an adult. She's older than me. She's never like played anywhere before. Not like
Mm,
I've got experience. I've played a lot of different gigs and all that. All throughout the southeastern United States.
right.
But oh my gosh, I was like, when are we playing? And I couldn't get a straight answer. I was just kind of like, she's like, well, the gates open at 6. I was like,
Okay.
okay. I was like, okay. And they're like, she's like, we're just kind of like fooling around beforehand. And I'm like, this is gonna be epic. So I was like, all right, gates open at 6. I was like, we get off work at 3. Let's all meet there at 4:30. That gives us 30-minute setup, an hour rehearsal, and then the gates open. We'll take time, and the rodeo doesn't start till 8, so we'll do from 7:30 or 6:30 to 7:30.
Sounds
Everyone's
fair.
like, right? I mean, I thought that was a logical.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she doesn't know what she's doing, so I'm kind of like, MDing the thing, and she's like, yeah, sure, okie dokie.
Okay. Oh
And
no.
so 5:20 rolls around, and she finally shows up. After we're just sitting here at a rodeo, and the whole time I'm like, what'd you do last time? She's like, well, I just kind of stood in this corner and played. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, are we going to be on a level surface? Or we? She's like, well, they call it the best show in the dirt. And I was like, okay. Like this is like leading up to it every day is like a new thing. She's like, well,
Right.
last time they just had 2 wireless. I'm like, oh God, we're gonna be doing this. I was like, well, at least the drummer will be able to play as loud as he wants.
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna need tarps. And I text the drummer. I was like, I don't think there's a stage. He's like, so we're just like playing. He's like, I'm not putting my 1976 something or others. And I'm like, I'll get tarps. So we show up, and he's like, I'm not putting it in shit. Like, no, they want us in the rodeo. Like, if you ever been to a rodeo, there's a big area of dirt and shit, and that's where they wanted us to play. So luckily,
Interesting.
we start talking to the quote unquote sound guy with the huge air quotes, who is setting up 8, like 1x12 PA speakers around. And sorry, there's 8 of them. They're in 2 clusters of 4. And
Okay.
yeah, yeah. And he's like, I'm like, can we get? So we look around. We're like, we ask the guy, like, where do you want us to set up? Where are we setting up? And he's like, well, we're singing around her, and the drum, and we're like, well, the problem is, the drums need to be kind of level. He's like, well, in a perfect world, you guys should play on that flatbed trailer up there. And we're like, no, well, let's do that. He's like, okay, I can run some power and the sound over there. And we're like, all right, thanks. Like, no, that's perfect. So don't forget, this is about 5:30.
Right.
I wanted us to be up and like through a rehearsal by 6. So finally about 6:15 he runs the power over to the
Jeez.
I mean, like all he had to do was just like hand me the extension cable.
Right.
Like, because there's a generator like 25, maybe 20 feet, 25 feet from this trailer bed. And I'm like, oh my gosh. He's like, if I just put down like a little 4-channel mixer, can you guys just mix, I will plug the stuff in, you just mix it and everything. I'm like, you want me to mix the sound from the trailer bed? Like,
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
like, do we not see a problem? He's like, well, I'll just kind of tell you how it sounds. I'm like, all on top of us having never played any of these songs together,
Right.
at all. And so we play it. We end up starting about 6:45, and the sound guy's like, hey, 7:30, 7:45, you guys got to start wrapping up. He's like, in between a song, I'll kind of give you like a cue. And that's why I told the lady, I was like, all right, and she's like, well, we're gonna play until we're done. We play all the songs. And I was like,
Oh no.
I was like, no, honey. I was like, rule number 1 is do not piss off your sound guy.
Yeah.
I was like, he can pull the plug. I was like, literally, like, we will have all you'll hear is nothing. You'll hear a drummer still going.
Yeah.
He's the only one that's, an acoustic instrument right now. So yeah, we make it through, and it was straight out of that thing you do. We just unplug and ran. Like, no encores, no more songs, unplug and get off the stage. That's how it happened.
It's like, see you Monday.
Right. It was very, very interesting. Well, one of the positive things that came out of it is the drummer, my son, and I decided we're going to start a band and start playing music together. So that is a positive that came out.
Are you doing country songs still?
No. No. And that was like, in the set list was interesting because like she would like want to add songs, and it's like, honey, there's no direction to this at all. Like, the only thing that like ties this together is like that they have at some point, like, they're kind of country songs,
Right.
but like, That's the Way Love Goes by Merle Haggard, Follow You to Virgie by Tyler Childers, I've never heard of until this, and that's actually an amazing song. 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton, Leader of the Band by Dan Fogelberg. Like, where the fuck did Dan Fogelberg come from in all this?
Yeah.
Boot Scootin' Boogie, that was one I made her do. Rodeo by Garth Brooks, that's one I was like, no, we're at a rodeo. We're playing fucking rodeo for all these, like, hicks. Like, Broken Halos by Chris Stapleton, I Wouldn't Have Missed It for the World by Ronnie Millsap, He Thinks He'll Keep Her by Mary Chaplin Carpenter, which is like, The Rose by Bette Midler. She was like, the song just means a lot to me. I'm like, it doesn't mean you have to play it. There are a lot of songs that mean a lot to me. Like, it doesn't mean I have to play them every show I ever do. And Coal Miner's Daughter by Loretta Lynn, Humble and Kind by Tim McGraw. Have you ever seen The Rain by Creedence Clearwater Revival? Like, where does this fit in this set at all? Justice to You Smile by Tim McGraw, that was one I put in because I was like, that's a great song. Free Fallin' by Tom Petty. What that, like, where did that come from? And then Friends in Low Places by Garth Brooks. Like, I don't, it was interesting to say the least.
Fun stuff.
I have to guess that this is going to be the last rodeo I'll ever play.
Oh, come on.
It's not the first flatbed trailer I've ever played on, but it's going to be the last one where I get followed by a clown and a bull.
Oh,
Like,
on that note,
you could smell the COVID in the air. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about some gear news.
this will age well, just like dinosaurs and the Eventide Triceratops.
Triceratops. You know what? I'll give him this. Pretty funny naming.
Oh yeah,
I would not have rocked it. That's like the Triceratops is something that like should be like the company name for it, like before it's released. But you have it's so weird.
And also if they had like a theme of dinosaur pedals, like this would have made more sense.
Right? Like, what nerd? Sorry, I mean this in all due respect. What like Jurassic Park loving nerd was just like, hey, Triceratops, and someone was just like, yeah, fuck it. It's Billy's turn to name a pedal, so that's just
Looks
what
at
we're
my
going
Jurassic Park collectibles in sadness. Anyway,
with. Yeah, well, don't be a dweeb. No, I'm just kidding. Here's my issue with it. It's a $300 course.
oh, I did not even see the price. Oh my god,
It is a $300 course.
I was expecting. What are these normally like? This
The Eventide pedal. This is on par for their pedals. The issue with this is I'm pretty sure this is the same algorithm you can get out of the Mod Station or the Mod Factor pedal,
possibly.
and you can get one of those used probably for like $300.
I mean,
You
I
get
guess
a lot more.
Plus is I don't know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 presets.
Well, it's probably got MIDI. I mean, it sounds good.
Yeah,
Like,
I
it sounds
wasn't
really
super
good.
impressed. Yes, it does have MIDI. MIDI over TRS. So yeah,
I
cool.
love this article that says this time, as the name suggests, it is all about the chorusing effect. Okay, do you really think they're going to like name it the Triceratops and it be something else?
I mean,
Sorry,
it could have been a fuzz for all.
Yeah. So you have MIDI capabilities. So I'm assuming that there's probably more than 5 presets. I mean, you probably have 5 presets on board without MIDI. But yeah,
it's got this interesting left, center, and right output thing. I don't know how exactly that works, but I guess they're predicting
wet, dry, wet.
a wet, dry, wet rigs. I'm trying to pull up the product page. Oh no, it's only 2 outputs. So
2 outputs and input in a MIDI TRS.
Yes, I guess expression.
Yeah, that's gonna be your MIDI TRS and expression.
And then it has a USB port, so I'm guessing you can add stuff to it eventually or do updates.
Yeah.
So cool if you really love chorus, I guess.
Yeah.
We're not $300 chorus.
I'm not $300 course. I'm $300 phaser people, but not $300 course. All right. Speaking of the $300, all of these products are right around the $300 mark and under. Actually, I think 300 is right about the highest price. So, the Volt, Universal Audio just came out with the Volt interfaces. So it is a budget interface. I mean, this is pretty interesting. You've got, I'm sorry, $300 is like
the mid tier. It looks like on this.
All right. So the Volt line comprises of 4 desktop interfaces, which these look pretty cool. I love the little wood panel signs. It has kind of like a 70s thing to it.
Looks fancy.
it looks cool. It looks like 70s fancy in my like kind of like that old school Neve console look thing. I love it because you've got a one in, one out, or sorry, one in, two out. Volt 1 is $140. The Volt 2, which is two in, two out, $190. The Volt 176 is one and two out. I don't know what the 76 thing is about. So that's another one and two out is 250. The 276, which is two and two out, is 300, and the 476, which is four in, four out, is $370. I kind of want the 476 because I wanted to upgrade, but
It's about 486 is what this comes out to in
maybe
USD for
the wood.
the 476.
Okay, so the 76 one is set up like kind of like an actual like console, where the one and the two, which is the cheaper models, are set up kind of like Focusrites and stuff like that, where everything's on the front. The other one's set where everything's on top, or if you just sit down, it's got a cool little wood paneling on the side. I want the 476. That's cool.
Yeah, this looks really nice.
This is
slick.
like, and Universal Audio has been known to have amazing products.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Aren't they like one of the
They've
top
got the
things?
aux. That's like a big thing by them is the aux.
Yeah.
And then they've got the Apollo stuff. Isn't that theirs?
Maybe.
I know there's something on our list that is also something else with the thing about the stuff. Where's that at?
The other interface?
That's yeah. So that's really cool. Also, we're gonna jump. This gets us to the Apogee Duet 3, which is a portable audio interface with integrated DSP. The Apogee Duet was great for people on the road.
It's
This
definitely catered towards those MacBook users. Just looking at this.
Yeah. So it's got two USB connectors. It's a really cool. Like, what is this like snake thing that comes out of it?
Yeah, so it doesn't have the ins and outs built into it. You have to have this, what do they call it? They call it a breakout cable.
Yeah.
That has your XLRs and quarter-inch output? No, two instruments in and two quarter-inch line outs. So
yeah, that's really neat.
It's nice and slim if you're into that, but at the same time, the extra cable kind of defeats the purpose to me.
The thing is, this thing is expensive. Shit.
Probably.
Oh no, it is. I need to get the. Let's see how much that is worth.
If I was $639 in euros, I would be $844.
Yeah, you can get the other thing. You can get one of those Volt interfaces.
And not have to have a dongle that you can lose. Wait, where have we heard that before?
Yeah. Stop losing your dongle. All right. It's interesting.
Oh, isn't that cute little carrying case? Cool.
Let's talk about something that's really cool and interesting and cute. So Fender Custom Shop teams up with Lexus for a limited run LC Stratocaster. I think this looks cool.
I do really like the look of this. Just the giant ass Lexus thing in the back just kills it for me. But you can swap that out. Or is it on the headstock too? Oh, please don't be anything on the headstock. Not that I can afford this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like $7,000.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Special blue. So it's blue finish is the neck, not the neck, the fingerboard. Is that tinted too?
Yeah.
Or are my eyes just deceiving me? Fingerboard is a polished deep blue.
Yeah, I like the carbon fiber pick guard.
That looks really good.
Actually, and the silver knobs, like it matches. I think aesthetically it looks really cool. I think it whoever came up with the aesthetics on this it looks great. But I'd prefer like maybe a Pinto on the price.
Yeah.
All right, so Metaverse just announced a pedal that everyone's made this joke forever, and they're the first ones to really put it on the pedal. It is just a phase.
It's a lifestyle.
This ain't a scene. It's a gosh darn arms race. So Metaverse Electrons Just a Face pedal is an analog phaser with 8 digitally controlled waveforms. Plus, it has a built-in tap tempo, which is really cool. It's got like the Pac-Man kind of feel going to it. See the
Yeah.
little ghost thing, and then they go to bloop 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 bloop.
I need someone to build me It's a Lifestyle phaser.
Yeah, this is
Tom.
just really neat. $130.
That's not. I feel like.
Oh wait, hold on, that's wrong.
Oh, Lord.
$190 in white or silver. 210 to do the clear acrylic faceplate, which is really cool too.
I feel
Sorry,
like that's not that bad of a price for the options on this.
nope,
Cause
not even close. Like not a horrible price. I think it's perfectly priced. I love that clear acrylic cover.
yeah, that looks look.
I would pay the extra $20 for that.
So how many waveforms did you say this had? 8.
Ocho. Yeah, 8 digitally controlled waveforms. You got the whoa whoa whoa, and then the whoa 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 whoa, and then the woo woo. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, that's 3 out of 8. You have to continue. You have to own this.
You got the bleeps, the sweeps, and creeps. All right. Anywho, that was my Spaceballs for the day. We're gonna just tear through this because
Let's go for it.
we're so tired. Sorry, the $130 was actually the next pedal we were talking about, which was talked about in that article. So MXR has the deep phase. Yeah, listen, 1 knob, fuck you. 2 knobs sounds great. It's a 2 knob phase from MXR mini phase. Like, okay, it's got speed and feedback, and then there's a mode little switch.
What is the second LED?
What? No, that's a button.
No, there's an LED by the knobs, which is normal, and then there's an LED below the foot switch.
Oh my gosh, there is.
Uh-huh.
Maybe it's to tell you what mode you're in.
One can
No,
hope.
because the mode thing should light up.
Yeah. Or
I didn't even see that. It was that little sneaky mother effer right there. So pretty much whenever you go into mode 2, you go from a 4 phase to 8 phase.
That's a lot of phases.
Yeah. This ain't a scene, it's a gosh damn arms race. I'm like, ain't killed. Damn it, Bobby, this ain't a scene, it's a gosh damn arms race.
That's what you should do for your next rodeo gig. It's just meme bandit.
Damn it, Bobby, I told you. Something like that. Guy goes, what?
So speaking of Bobby,
Speaking of Bobby Benson came out with an.
what is his actual name?
I don't know. All right, so apparently you can turn your fuzz face into a tone bender with the new Benson Amps Germanium Boost. Is that how that works?
Yeah, obviously this is like the amp or the fuzz guy, Mr. Chris Benson. So why would he lie to us?
I don't know.
And he's in the Pacific Northwest, so they know their fuzzes.
So this is a $200 boost. This is just a boost. This isn't a fuzz. So
it does fuzzy things, does it not?
No.
It got dirty when I listened to it.
I mean, it could. But I don't think that it just like... I don't think you can just like put a germanium pedal in front of a fuzz face and be like, it's a tone bender now. What's up? Because don't they have germanium fuzz faces? Is that just a tone bender?
I suppose. Isn't that what no,
I feel like I'm being lied to. Wait,
it's some magic juice.
I don't like it.
If you want a good tone bender pedal,
bend them.
know a guy.
Hardly knew him. Yeah. I don't know. All right, so here's the one we're going to spend the most time talking about.
Oh no.
The fart pedal tries to get into production via Kickstarter. So before anyone mentioned it in our group chat, I had seen this, and I legitimately thought about backing this. So there's a guy, Steve Gadlin. He is not. He's like a master of nothing, and like he's just, I don't know. So he was on. Did you ever see? Do you ever watch Shark Tank?
Sometimes when it's on.
Did you ever see the one where the guy wanted to just draw you a picture of a cat and send it to you, and that was his business plan?
No.
Yeah, so it's the same guy. Pretty much he comes up with like businesses that like no one in their right mind should come up with, and they somehow are semi-successful.
So he's his own meme.
Pretty much. So he came out, he was like, why can't I have a guitar pedal that makes fart sounds? So I watched the video of it, and I feel like it's just overdubbed with fart noises.
You don't even think it's real?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, it could literally just be a random tone generator, and the random tones are the farts.
Right. Like but this is hilarious because like they've got a guy who's playing Stairway to Heaven, then he kicks on the fart. It feels like it might just be, like, I don't know, but he claims that like it actually does take in your, I don't know. I want one just because I want to see what it actually is.
I don't think it's playable, because if whose demo did I watch? I don't even know who this guy is. Amos Heller.
Yeah, famous Amos Heller. You know,
yeah, he had a video that I watched of a prototype.
It just sounds like overdubbed. It sounds like it's just overdubbed.
So
like
I
it seems
what people are actually going to get.
I don't know. I mean, I've played some fuzz pedals that can get kind of farty,
but not like this.
Not like some of the stuff is like, man, you better check your pants. like kind of like that day after you had Nashville hot chicken and you're walking around Summer NAMM. Like it's kind of got that feel to it. That would be a great way to advertise this.
I need you to do the marketing.
It sounds like you had Hattie B's and went to Summer NAMM the next day. I'd be like, oh my gosh, you're speaking my language. I know exactly what sound that is. I can tell you. I know that tone. No. Oh my gosh. What's next? Because I'm just on a roll. We're just going to talk about everything really fast. All right, so there's a company, ESI, Cosmic Ucast. I love their use of lowercase and lowercase, uppercase letters. All right, so apparently this is an affordable new USB podcasting mic with built-in monitoring, which is pretty. Actually, seems pretty cool. If it gives you decent quality. But I mean,
if you're just starting,
it's a mic with a built-in interface. Like it is a part of. It's got a built. I mean,
say 130, 125 ish is what the price of this comes out to. That's not bad.
No, it's not at all.
Who is this Mackie? Hold on. Let me see what these other ones they compare it to, what they come out to be, because it's Mackie's Carbon mic and a PreSonus 150.
Yeah.
So if you want to save $25.
Yeah, pretty much. It's wish.com.
Is that where the website takes you?
No.
That's a nice, slick orange color. It's not that bad.
I like it.
I dig it.
Does it come
something to get started on?
If it came with the headphones, it'd be great.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I think this would be good to start on.
Let's see. Hold on, I'm going to the manufacturer's website.
I'm scared.
Because it keeps showing the... Sorry, guys. It's sleepy. I like
Yeah, mine's
Chris.
still loading.
Chris, it took Chris a second to hop on, and I was like, I'll be back in 10 minutes. And 20 minutes later, he
Yeah.
messaged me. I'm on. I was like, I'll wait
I
a
was
minute.
about to like post in our group chat of like, okay, I'm on. Diaz's mic is on. Do I just start recording and start going and see when he
Dude,
pops on?
if I didn't have my CPAP, you would have heard me. You'd have been like, oh, yeah, even though it's like 3 rooms away. So, does not come with a headset.
Damn.
If
Do
it
they
came with a
sell
headset,
the headset?
I'm sure.
I don't see it.
Oh, you're not getting it then. It's not happening,
Hey,
Scooter.
ESI, could you give us that sweet looking headset? Because we will buy that.
Buy it. I mean, we could be sponsored by them.
Yeah.
Scott would never use it, but
Oh, wait, no, they do. It's the extra 10.
all right. So, we're gonna talk about a pedal here that I'm actually pretty excited about because it shows a change in direction for this company's normal line and the normal look. Pigtronics introduces the new revamped Ecolution 3 stereo multi-tap delay.
Those does look nice.
This looks very slick. So the thing about Pigtronics pedals is they've always been fucking huge for some reason. And this is very slimmed down. The Ecolution is an amazing delay pedal. The Ecolution 2, all of them, like, fantastic. The problem is, just like with some companies, the form factor is not worth it. And that's a big thing whenever people are worried about using, they're worried about pedal board space. I mean, I had to throw together my pedal board for the rodeo in like 30 minutes and start working it out and tweaking it out. And space was an issue. So this looks like it's, smaller than a Volante. And
Sure.
it looks fantastic. I haven't seen the, it's got two ins, two outs. You can do MIDI via TRS, which is fantastic. I mean,
It's
this
MIDI or TRS, so I think you might
right.
be able to do like a tap in.
Yeah.
Potentially. That's nice.
Right. And you've got, 4 presets on board. This is just, it's 100 millisecond to 5-second delay time. Who the fuck needs 5 seconds? If you need 5-second delay time, you need to rethink your life. Yeah, just buy a looper. Quit being a little biatch. All right. So, did we ever get a list for me to read or a topic suggestion?
We did not, because we thought we would have enough news.
Okay.
So
how long have we been recording for? Where are we at?
We've been recording for
like
a solid
minutes?
38 minutes.
Really? It's been that long? Holy crap. All right. So, topic. Let's just share crazy gig stories. Like funny gig stories. Like,
okay, I was gonna say, do we want to go like nightmare that was
either one, nightmare
career
or
ending,
funny.
or
my gosh, this rodeo has to be up there on the list of like, oh, so close to train wrecks. Like, honestly, the only reason why we made it through was because like I made everyone push through.
right.
I was just like, no, we're gonna get to the end of this freaking set list.
I think one of my best gigs was probably at a church's, like, I don't know, like summer cookout thing. They had our band come play. It was like basically just like a Christian worship band, but we didn't really do like worship sets. We did just general contemporary Christian stuff.
Yeah.
And that was back when I had my
God
Fender Bassman, and I was actually able to turn up with that, and it sounded pretty good. I think that was probably one of the best gigs I've ever had that wasn't like just a church service or anything. I don't play out much yet. if we ever open back up.
I played this like biker Jesus fest. So the church I was at when I first moved to Tennessee was like a biker church, not like where everyone was a biker, but the pastor rode motorcycles and like, you know, if you're in with the pastor, you rode a Harley. Like, I mean, but it was just kind of weird. But I mean, because there's a lot of people who didn't ride motorcycles that went there, but that was just kind of like
Oh, so it was a social club. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we go and we play this concert, which is like a 3-day thing. We're playing all 3 days. We're sleeping in tents. So like everyone smells like ass.
So you played the wish.com Bonnaroo. Gotcha.
Yes, it was it was like, you know, like Christian mingle Bonnaroo, and
Ew.
it was just it was like Christian mingle Bonnaroo with like the Hells Angels there, the Hex Angels, and it
you
was
can't say hell there.
Yeah, can't say hell at the concert, but it was. So the group I played with was like a group for like Celebrate Recovery, and it was just one of those things where they like were just like, you know, like everyone like, come on stage, like come on. It's like, hey, I play the spoons. Let's go. We'll find a spot for you. I'm like, we're doing Jesus Freak. There's not a spoons part. Or like we did Jesus Freak and there was a harmonica player playing, and I'm just like, is anyone else seeing this?
Is there a tambourine though?
There was one girl that played tambourine during some songs.
I was about to say, because Jesus didn't move if there was no tambourine.
There was the one girl singer who was always very timid, but when she didn't get to sing the lead part, like she was mad. And then there was a girl who could sing the lead part, but really didn't need to be up there. It was just like, oh my gosh. Listen, you know it's bad when you we Christianized Bomb Track by Rage Against the Machine, and the guy called it God Track, and that's one of the regrets of my life that I'll never be able to apologize enough for.
Surely there's a video of that floating around.
Oh, God, I hope not. Listen, my first band was called The Shank, okay? Because we had a band director whose name was Mr. Shank. And you know, when you're in middle school band, you're really dumb. And so we're like, we're gonna name our band after our band director. Like, I don't know. We had T-shirts. Like, I don't know why. Oh, it was ridiculous. Maybe we were in high school, but we named it for our middle school band director. Yeah, we were in high school because I could drive. I was 16. And so, my gosh. We did this song called Magic Eddie. The lead singer wrote it about almost getting into a road rage brawl with a guy in a car that he had an Orlando Magic plate and it said Eddie on it. And the guitar solo I played was You Are My Sunshine. And I made it fit into the song.
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
Yeah. And then our first gig was in a town called Apopka, Florida. And so the band that was putting on the show was called Send Out Scuds. They're huge Five Iron Frenzy fans. So like they did ska music, like Third Way of it and all that, and it was pretty awesome. And then they had another band which was the same members but just doing different music, and they're called Foursquare and the Apopka Billy Goats.
Okay.
That was by far one of the craziest gigs I ever played. We got up there the night before and we went pool hopping, and we ended up at the Omni Hotel in the pool. And the lead singer of the other band was in a leopard print Speedo.
Oh no!
And we got kicked out. And then we had like 3 a.m. conversations outside of a 7-Eleven about religion. And then we went longboarding.
Wait, is this the Jesus of Suburbia music video, or
like that's what it like? It was by far. And then I drove over there in a 1996 Chevy Astro minivan that had the back seats taken out. and a futon mattress put in it, and a power inverter with a TV with an old school Nintendo.
Nice.
I've lived an interesting life now that I start telling people some of these stories. I forget about some of the crazy crap I got into. So the lead singer of that band, we got him to, well, he ended up quitting the band because we were eating at the Village Inn. If you've never been to the Village Inn, I don't think there's any of those anywhere anymore. That's where old
there is
people.
one in Colorado.
That's where old people go to eat, and they sell pies that are pretty good. But like, we're at the Village Inn, and the lead singer is super Christian, like just, oh my gosh. So me and the drummer Mike Kubaki decide, Mike's sister had a bachelorette party, and Mike got a bunch of penis tips for straws, and he put one on the singer's straw when he went to the bathroom. He came back out, lost his mind in the Village Inn, went outside. We had to like pay the bill, and like go outside, and he threw his keys to his car in the middle of the highway, because apparently that was going to prove a point, which was he was our ride home. Oh
boy.
Yeah. That man ended up becoming a semi-professional wrestler.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
That's a huge change of direction.
Yes. Yes. He proposed to his now wife at a Renaissance fair.
What were we talking about earlier in the podcast with nerds?
Oh my gosh. I have to say, but Dustin introduced me to a lot of cool things. Mystery Science Theater 3000 being one of them. So, mad shout out to him. All right, your turn. Tell a fun story.
Oh, I actually don't have any.
What?
Yeah, no, I've literally mostly just played at churches, so I've not really played at, boring life of a not even living room, like bedroom musician.
Have I told this story about playing like Metallica at my high school cafeteria?
Maybe.
All right, so I'll tell that story again for whoever hasn't heard it in a while. So down in Florida, they have what's called the Great American Teach-In. I don't know if that's a national thing or just the Florida thing, but pretty much what it is you'd have professionals from different industries come in and, talk about their jobs and everything, and kind of help give kids, ideas of like, this is stuff you can do. And they'd bring in stuff and show, and a lot of fun. Like, you get the EMTs would show up, and that group got to go down and walk through the ambulance, stuff like that, or you'd have, the police officers would like let you play with the drug dogs or whatever you were allowed to do with them. Like, then some of the kids freaked the fuck out, but I don't know. Luckily you were able to sign up for it, so I think all the stoners stayed away from that one. But we had Miss Morris was our one of our English teachers, and Miss Morris's husband Jim owns Morristown Sound, or owned Morristown Sound down in Tampa, Florida, and that's a recording studio down there. They've recorded artists like Iced Earth, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and others. And he was, nice. It was really cool. But that's one of those things. Like, how do you, how do you like bring something for that? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You can't bring a soundboard. And they weren't hiking kids out to the recording studio. So he was like, hey, Mr. Ash was the teacher, and Mr. Ash had Ash in the Holes, which was all the top musicians in the school got to be in that band. And if you got picked in that band, it was a really big honor. And then he was like, hey, why don't you guys play? Dude, we played the set. So this is in our freaking cafeteria, high school cafeteria, music blaring. I mean, you've got a recording studio owner and like a sound engineer. They brought, they'd set up sound and everything. We got to sound amazing. We played Fuel by Metallica. The original Fire by Audio Slave was one that we did. Damn It by Blink 182. There was a few others, but that was probably one of the coolest things I ever got to do.
Nice.
That was an interesting thing that was, you know, I always remember that I got to do.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's a Florida thing, just so that way I feel better about going to a shitty private Christian school. I didn't have stuff like that.
Yeah. No, we also had a lot of cool stuff like school shootings and stuff like that. So that was sarcasm, by the way. I understand that happens at Christian schools, but yeah, Florida public schools kind of sucked. I mean, when they came out with No Child Left Behind, they meant that shit. They're like, I don't care. Let's go.
Yeah,
You graduated. Oh, trust me. Now that I moved to Tennessee, I found out that's true as well. I got a high school diploma. All right, Scooter. Good for you. Sorry, we'll stop insulting Tennessee people. And my phone needs to stop dinging.
I guess that was our sign from God to...
Yeah, ding in the episode. All right, so if you want, you can go to our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/TFX, and you can tell your fun, cool, crazy, weird story of, you know, a gig that is memorable to you. Yeah, go check out thefxgroup.com. It'll have a link to all of our cool stuff, our Facebook group, our email, our merch. You can buy some merch, our Patreon, where you can give us you Patreon's really cool. You give us money and like nothing in your life changes, but ours does. So yeah,
we can only afford to go get coffee.
Yeah, that's what next time. Well, I don't think we're going to be doing much of NAMM this year, so we'll be able to save up and do something really cool next year.
Yeah,
or well, the year after next, whatever.
Whenever we're allowed to go have fun again.
Or I might request that I get vacation about the time of Sweetwater's Gear Fest if they're doing that. So we'll see.
That would be fun.
Maybe, just maybe. All right, guys. For the Effects Loop, I'm Diaz.
I'm Chris.
And you guys have a good one. Oh, and also, sorry, really quick. I didn't mean to like jolt you before you turned us off. Thank you to Big Ear Pedals for sponsoring this episode. Go to bigear.com or bigearpedals.com and also patreon.com/effects. So see you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Dictionary, why is negativity always drawn out? Picture every